What if I told you that a new Cold War is brewing, not in the icy Arctic, but in the warm waters of the South China Sea? Here, between the United States and China, the waves are far from calm. The tension is palpable. China lays claim to almost the entirety of the South China Sea, a claim that the U.S. refuses to acknowledge. This vast expanse of water isn't just a conduit for over $3 trillion of annual shipborne commerce, but also a hotbed of geopolitical power play. One of the first signs of this escalating tension was the incident involving a U.S. Navy F-35C fighter jet that crash-landed on the USS Carl Vinson. This high-tech jet, now lying in the depths of the sea, became a symbol of the brewing conflict. The U.S. Navy, in a race against time and a race against China, embarked on a mission to recover their sunken jet. As the U.S. Navy attempted to retrieve their sunken F-35C, the world held its breath, sensing the escalating tensions. The South China Sea, a sparkling blue expanse of water, is now a chessboard where two global superpowers are locked in a high-stakes game. While the world was still processing the F-35C incident, another incident took the tensions to a whole new level. In December 2022, an unexpected encounter occurred. A Chinese fighter jet intercepted a United States Air Force reconnaissance plane over the disputed waters of the South China Sea. The U.S. military deemed the Chinese jet's maneuver as unsafe, as it flew within a mere 20 feet of the U.S. plane, leaving little room for error and forcing it to take evasive action. The Chinese military, however, offered a different perspective. They claimed it was the U.S. plane that altered its flight attitude, pushing the Chinese aircraft to the left. After examining the videos of the incident, aviation and military experts concluded that the Chinese jet was indeed in the wrong and had no reason to get so dangerously close to the American plane. This incident underlines the potential for a deadly military confrontation between the U.S. and China. It's a stark reminder that the small distance between planes in such scenarios leaves little room for error. Accidents, misunderstandings, or miscalculations could quickly escalate into armed confrontations, a reality that all parties involved must take seriously. This aerial encounter was a clear display of the rising tensions and the risks involved in this brewing Cold War. While the world focuses on the aircraft carriers and fighter jets, there are other, more silent threats lurking beneath the surface. China's naval capabilities extend far beyond its eye-catching aircraft carriers. It's the stealthy, less conspicuous vessels that may pose a more significant threat to U.S. naval dominance. Take, for instance, China's Type 055 stealth-guided missile destroyers. With a sophisticated design and a large missile inventory, these destroyers are considered the most powerful surface combatants in the world. Already, at least 10 of these formidable vessels have been launched, silently bolstering China's naval might. But the threats don't stop at the water's surface. Below, the UN-class submarines, armed with anti-ship cruise missiles and equipped with air-independent propulsion, glide almost silently through the depths. These submarines offer formidable defense capabilities and are a testament to China's ongoing naval expansion. In fact, China plans to grow its fleet of these near-silent predators to 25 over the next 3 years. Then there's China's civilian fleet, a collection of seemingly innocuous ferries that could be swiftly converted for military use. These vessels could potentially transport a large invading force if the need arises. With this significant sea lift capability, China's civilian vessels add an unexpected twist to the naval chess game in the South China Sea. These stealthy vessels may not make the headlines, but they could very well be the game changers in this maritime Cold War. So where do we stand now, and where are we heading? In recent events, both China and the United States have exchanged accusations over a U.S. vessel in the South China Sea. China's military stated that it had driven away a U.S. warship, while the U.S. Navy maintained that it was conducting a routine freedom of navigation operation. This situation has highlighted the rising tensions between the two superpowers, with China asserting its territorial claims and the U.S. challenging them in favor of international law. Looking ahead, these increased military activities and conflicting claims could lead to the possibility of a direct military confrontation, a prospect that sends shivers down the spine of the international community. The South China Sea, a vital conduit for over $3 trillion of annual shipborne commerce, is at the heart of this dispute. The uncertainty and potential conflict could disrupt this significant trade route, affecting economies worldwide. Moreover, The Permanent Court of Arbitration ruled in 2016 that China's claims had no legal basis. However, China's dismissal of this ruling and continued aggression in the region is a clear indication that the dispute is far from over. The United States, on its part, has labeled China's sweeping maritime claims as unlawful and a severe threat to the freedom of the seas. Meanwhile, China counters by labeling the United States as an outright security risk creator in the South China Sea. As we move forward, the world watches with bated breath. Will diplomacy and international law prevail, or will the drumbeats of war drown out the voices of reason? Only time will tell. As tensions continue to escalate, the South China Sea is quickly becoming the new ground zero for a potential Cold War between two of the world's most powerful nations.